initially when you did your application, it was very much attached to emotional eating. But I think through understanding this and meeting yourself where you're at, you understand that you just weren't giving your body what it was, an unmet need in a different way.
Needed. And again, even though we worked together all this fall and we put like all those pieces, I think like understanding that when I'm every single day going out and biking 20 miles and not like on a bike path, like doing like 2,500, 3,000 feet, a climbing, that you need so much more food, and that it just in your body never kind of gets in that like equilibrium. So you can't listen to the scale. You have to look at like other sources. Like, I'm feeling great. My clothes are fitting better. And I think that was one of those last pieces I feel like that came together this summer. Being out west for 3 weeks, knowing that I was not eating the way that I wanted to, definitely was better than I ever would have eaten in the past. But like that wanting to go like right home and thinking this is what I need from the grocery store, and like really feeling like going back to the basics, even like when a day like maybe that just wasn't as good. Like, and that's one of the things I love right now that I'm finding is your bad days are nothing like what a bad day would have been before. Like a bad day would have been like, oh, ice cream sundae, some Oreo cookie, like all this junk. And now you're like, a bad day would be like, oh, I splurged and had ice cream when I really didn't need it, didn't want it. In some degree, like that is whether it's just boredom or something like that. When you do eat something when you don't really want it and you don't need it or anything like that, like you quickly feel like that and it doesn't taste as good anymore.
Yeah, these connections that you've created are so powerful. But like you said, I don't think you realize how bad you felt with how good you feel now, right?
Right.
Thinking that was, oh, this is just how I feel. So for a minute, just kind of go back into that place in December of last year when you reached out, and what do you feel like was really your biggest barrier at that point?
Not fueling myself properly, because even then I was still fairly active, and when aren't giving yourself what you need, you would feel hungry and snack away your day. And the mentality of, okay, how few calories can I eat through the day to be able to snack at night? And then that's never going to work. We're now making sure that you have that much, much more solid breakfast.
Yes, you found so many good options that you enjoy and you like and you
Mhm.
look forward to. It's just such a good feeling to have a routine and meals that you know can support you even if you do have an off day or week,
Mhm.
which is the best. You know, this time of year too, back to school, everybody's like, I need to start this new crazy program. And you're just like, yeah, I'm just,
No.
I have a steady routine and I have so many other things to worry about.
Yeah, and this was something twice recently, and I made a loaf and apple bread, and I had a piece of it, and then I'm probably going to throw it away today because I just had no desire really to eat any of it.
Wow. That's so different for you, right?
Yes, because that was always has been like a challenge. Like once you have like that sweet thing again, like this little piece, that little like just adds up.
Right. Or you feel like, oh, I'm not supposed to be having this, but I am. So then I need to get it all in now and then overeat that maybe too.
Yes, pre working with you would have that mentality. Well, I really messed this up, so I can throw in the towel completely. And now I don't do that at all. It's like, okay, yeah, that wasn't the best choice, but let's just move on.
It's so amazing. Yeah. So how do you feel like 9 months down the road, we've been through so much life together with traveling, but also holidays and seasons. Like you mentioned, that's really important to navigate through winters and summers and all the different aspects of foods and elements that are involved. So where would you say your nutrition health is at this point, 9 months down the road with all this life that you've done?
Things change and you have to go that. But if you stick to those basics,
Mhm.
if you're always going back to those basic things that you know work, you can make everything else work around it.
And you're so active. So it was, I think, important for you to understand how to properly fuel yourself so you're not having those overwhelming cravings, which very often happens with athletes if they're not getting what they need.
You really have to listen to what your body's saying.
Yes, which is hard to just do in the beginning, right? Of just, oh, listen to
Mhm.
your body, because sometimes we're so disconnected from
Yeah.
what that even means. So initially, it's just paying attention more and understanding hunger and fullness versus starving and stuffed, finding a better
Mhm.
middle ground with those hunger and fullness cues. And then also, I think the planning piece was really helpful for you. And you have a
Yes.
family. So it's important that you have meals that everybody enjoys too.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all habits you've created for yourself in your life.
Mhm.
So, what would you say makes this different from other dieting programs or other things maybe you've done in the past or hear a lot of people talking about?
Well, I think the number one is just your philosophy about there's nothing off limits. And I still am drinking probably 6 to 10 ounces of Pepsi each day. But that, oh, that's bad. You can't have that. We figured a way to build it in. And again, like lunch again, I found like I was drinking a little bit, and I was like, okay, I got to remember like when it loses that good taste, it's time to push it away. And that's been something that I've been really good about. I want that flavor, but and so a lot of times for like a dinner or something, I'm only probably drinking a quarter of it. So like maybe 3, 4 ounces. And then I don't want it anymore. So I think that's the biggest thing is that nothing is off limits. Because in the past, I've given up Pepsi and stuff like that. But it's when you start being super restrictive, like the way other diet plans are, you can only do that for so long. And you slowly add those bad habits in, and then the weight comes back on, and then you're just more frustrated. I think the fact that it's not restrictive, it's like yesterday happened, it's done. What are you going to do better tomorrow?
Yeah, I think
So,
that's the biggest piece is incorporating what you value
mm-hmm.
in your life, whatever that means. If it's soda, if it's, some kind of sweet, whatever that is for each person. And when you're able to have that in your life in a way that feels good to you, that's the difference, right? Because drinking, 24 ounces of soda probably doesn't feel good either. And you recognize that.
No.
But having the taste and the flavor and then be like, okay, it's just you have the sense of control too over yourself in a respectful way.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. When you're choosing, feel really in charge and not have to worry about navigating like parties and anything like that. I've been to like, numerous ones, and there's definitely a piece that I found of valuing food. Couple of events that I've been to and the food wasn't really good. It was like very easy just to stop. I'm not going to just eat this
Right.
to eat. If I'm going to pick something that I value and want.
So good. It sounds so simple, right? But it's applying that, which makes
Yeah.
all the difference. It's so cool. You're just glowing. I can tell you're just in such a good place in so many aspects of your life because when you feel like this is in a good place, everything else just feels easier.
Yes, I agree completely.
I'm so happy for you. This is the goal, Kim. This is how I want you to feel.
Thank you for everything. I so appreciate it. It feels so good to be in control and enjoying eating and not feeling stressed about it.